Okay, so welcome to tonight's motivational webinar designed for all creatives in business. It's Ailish Monks here, welcoming you all firstly with a quick sound check. I may have met many of you at recent events and seminars and many more of you online within our social media networks. We are thrilled to be sharing this session with so many of you online this evening, and both Catherine and I are determined to share an amazing 60 minutes with you. We have so much to share, from simple tips to boost your year in business to supporting ideas and much, much more. We want to ensure that you have the very best experience online with us this evening, as your education is really important to us both. So I'm just wanting to do a quick sound check with you all to make sure everything's running nice and smoothly for you. So if you could please take a moment to type a short message into the chat panel now. If you can hear me loud and clear, that would be fantastic. So maybe think about typing where you're from and how you heard of Aspire, as that's a really nice way of getting to know you a little better. And Catherine has a real passion for education and people in business. So knowing how we met, your name and location is always a lovely way for us both to place you. So that's fantastic. They're all coming through really nicely. Hi, Emma in Wiltshire, and Nigel. It's nice to see you online. Keith is hearing us loud and clear in York. And Gillian, hi Gillian. And Nads is online with us this evening, hi. That's fantastic, thank you everyone. So tonight is an evening designed for you and your aspirations. We only have about 60 minutes with you this evening, and I know with experience that time flies. So many people say how much they enjoy the learning experience online with us, so I'm really excited for you all. Catherine has prepared an insightful evening for you all, and she is acknowledged for her motivational approaches to business, as well as her sheer passion for connecting to all of those in business. If you have any questions throughout the session, please enter them into the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, and you will see a little bubble next to where you pop your message, and if you can just mark it as a question before posting, it will allow Catherine to either answer questions throughout the session, but we are having a dedicated question and answer session at the end of our broadcast this evening, so that will help us save all of those for later on. I know Catherine is determined to give everybody she trains the very best educational experience this evening. So in order to gain the best possible experience from this session tonight, please close down any social media platforms you may be running, as this might affect the sound quality of the webinar that you are experiencing at home. If you do experience any video or audio issues, please just refresh this screen by hitting the reconnect button, which you'll find at the bottom of the screen. Now, all you need to do is have a pen at the ready, make plenty of notes, and dedicate this next hour to your business. Give your business and your aspirations the attention they deserve. With real pleasure, I would now like to hand over to Catherine Connor, founder of Aspire Photography Training.
Oh, thank you, Ailish. That was such a lovely introduction. Welcome to all of you. As Ailish said, my name's Catherine Connor, founder of Aspire Photography Training. And like Ailish, I've met so many of you across the UK, many of you at the photography show, SWPP conventions, and other events of which we host. And I know I've met many more of you online too. Many of us have shared a conversation together, whether that's on Instagram, through our Motivational Daily, or whether that's through Facebook or Twitter. In my view, it's always nice to have a conversation with so many like-minded friends. A question, though, that people often ask is this: what do you do? What do you guys do for a living? In a nutshell, I would say we build people and business. And really, that's what I want to do in my 60 minutes for all of you this evening. I'd like to gift 60 minutes to your hearts, 60 minutes to your heads, 60 minutes to your souls, and perhaps, if you don't mind me saying, 60 minutes to your bank balances too. Making a motivational contribution there is something I always like to do through our training programs, and I hope to do this evening. For me, I'm all about building people and building businesses. My world is about dovetailing creativity with business values, business practice, how to be in business, being business minded. And that's my theme for this evening. Gosh, Ailish and I have got so much to share, and we have a really nice theme for each and every one of you. This session is going to be about being passionate in business, and we've got lots of things that we're going to explore with you. It's about really understanding the purpose of your business. So this evening, I have designed 10 tips, and we're going to walk through together from 1 to 10. The 10 tips I give are guidelines about how to be in business, how to contribute to your business. As Ailish said, we always like to get to know you. Get to know you because we're nosy, and get to know you because we want to make the right contribution and the best contribution to you. So we're going to do a quick poll. And my motive behind doing the quick poll is finding out a little bit about you, who you are, and the influence we can have on you and your business. So my quick poll is this. How many of you are in the first throes of business? I often ask this question as I open seminar because it allows me to pitch the right information to the right people. So how many of you are in the first throes of business? Perhaps you've been in business for 0 to 2 years. How many of you have been in business perhaps 2 to 5 years? You're in the early stages of business. And how many of you have been helming your glorious ships for 5 years and over? For those of you that are in the first throes of business, my tip to you all are: listen carefully, consider your future, really think about why you're here online this evening, and also think about where you want to be in the future, as my motive is to really support you by giving you the right knowledge, a little bit of hand-holding, and wow, a lot of encouragement. So welcome to our beautiful industry, and welcome to this wonderful session, and I hope it supports you. And then those of you that have now been in business 2 to 5 years, I'm going to make an assumption. I'll guess this. I guess you guys have all gained a real knowledge of why marketing matters, the importance of understanding marketing, and becoming more and more alert to the importance of running your business well. I also want to wish those in the 2 to 5 year bracket a lot of success. I want to wish you a lot of support too, because I do believe that when you're in that early throw of business, you really understand what hard work looks like. I for sure know too that many of you will have certainly put some hours in, and I salute you for that. And then finally, my heroes in business, those that have been the guardian of our industry. And there's 31% of you. So 31% of our audience tonight have been in business 5 years or more. For you this evening, and my voice should be all about income. I don't say that to be crude. I say that to be practical. For you guys, it's all about growth, profitability, not losing sight of the business, enjoying the business, getting the best function from the business, and perhaps reaping a few rewards from the business too, because by golly, do you deserve it. So for you guys, take plenty of notes. Place your businesses under the microscope. Listen carefully with what I say. Really be alert to all of the information of which I share, and my 1 to 10. So let's have a look at the results. So we have 59% of those that have been in business from 0 to 2 years. Welcome, guys. This session is designed to really support you. It's designed to really support all of you, but it'll help the 59% of you guys from making some very expensive mistakes. And those of you 2 to 5 years, you know that 40% of you already know that marketing and what we explore tonight will really, really help. And 5 years, it's 29%. Now the results are coming in. So 29% of you are still saluting you, still thanking you for looking after our industry and guiding us all well. And I want to guide you tonight and make this night yours. So let's dive into the session. Let's dive into the session, making sure we explore all of the right elements that are really relevant to you and your business. I want to start off with my number one. I've got 10 tips to give, but this is my number one, relevant to all of you. Write this down. Change the rhythm of the business. Write this down. Change the rhythm of the business. Tip number one. It's never great for a business to make a business stand still for too long. It's really healthy to change the elements that need encouragement for growth. So as we travel through this session, and at the end of the session too, really think about what needs a change in your business, what needs to be healthier. Always sense the moments of change when change is required. That's a real gift to bring a business. And for those of you that have been in business for 5 years, I'm guessing you guys have got that intuition, got that gut feeling and got that gift. It's really important, and pay attention guys, for those of you just coming in, it's really important to always sense when change is required. Really important. Many of you will be able to relate to this. It's all about really ensuring what's right for the business and what's right for change. So, quick question. Think about everything I've just said. Think about the business right now. What would you like to change? Hand on heart. What would you really like to change in your business? As I've said, no business likes to stand still. My mantra has always been, change and change it confidently. Change will trigger up and release creativity. Change often liberates energy too. Never be frightened of change. Always be alert when a business needs to change. For all of us who are all short of time, it's all about running an effective business. Change can be a good thing for your business. So my number one tip is change the rhythm of the business when it's required. And really think about the elements that you want to improve in your business. You know what the best thing about being in business is? You guys are totally in control. So let's dive into my number two. I really like number two. Number two, a biggie for all of us online this evening. Big one. Why are you in business? Write this down. Why are you in business? What leaps to mind? What's coming from your head and what's coming from your heart? Why are you in business? A word I frequently use is purpose. I think about this all of the time when I think about Aspire. The purpose of Aspire is to generate this industry, is to create some great photographers, to give all in business real purpose, to allow all in business to have the confidence of understanding of their business. But what's your business purpose? What is the purpose of your business? May I put it another way? What was your business designed for? What was your business designed for? It's so important when you reach into every day to really understand the purpose of the business. At the end of this session, right at the end, when we get to number 10, we're going to have an open answer and chat forum together. We're going to talk and chat and question your business. And I really want to do that. And I really want to talk about purpose. And I really want to talk about what you want to change. And much, much more than that. But you answer for your business this now. What do you really want to change? What's the purpose of the business? And answer all of these things now for you. I hope many of you are getting a great deal from the notes you're taking. For those new in business, I'm going to add an extra tip in here. Whenever you get involved in any level of education, always treasure your notes. How many of you online this evening have that special notepad, that special pen? In my case, I'm a real lover of pencils, so I have a special pencil. How many of you have those special notepads? Notepads full of knowledge, notepads full of ideas, notepads full of your thoughts and your considerations. For those new in business, remember this: always treasure those notes. So at the end of this session, come back to your number 2. What is the purpose of your business? What do you really want it to achieve? And what's going to be so right for you? It's really important that you keep all of this knowledge safe in your glorious, beautiful business. But let's dive now into number 3. Oh, wow. No business is glorious without our tribe. Jot this down. Number 3, tribe. We all need a tribe. And I'm sensing from the vibe of which I'm witnessing in the chat so far that you're my tribe and you're definitely the right tribe for me online this evening. You get my tribe, I get you. We certainly get the vibe of each other. But who does your business want to serve? Who is it designed for? What is your audience? Create a client avatar. Really think about the type of people that would be attracted to your business. I'm known for often saying in seminars, if you were a magazine, who would you be? If you were a magazine in the high street, what would you read like? Who do you want to attract? It's so important for all of us in business, whether you are the 14% that have been in business 5 years, whether you're just in the hub of business, right in the middle of growth, you always have to have a clear perspective on who your tribe is. You want to make sure that whatever you produce, wow, and jot this down, whatever you produce the right product for your tribe. My partner, as many of you know, has an artisan bakery. His field of expertise is sourdough. He builds his produce for those that are health conscious, those that like great flavour, those that enjoy cooking, those, naturally, that enjoy eating too. I think he's totally clear on his tribe. It's foodies. I'm totally clear on my tribe too. I think Aspire is built for those that want to learn, those that enjoy lifestyle, those that enjoy luxury, those that enjoy success, style, and having understanding. That's the purpose of my product. Let's think about your tribe. What product is right for them? As you finish this session this evening, and this is something perhaps we'd explore in a lot of detail on our marketing courses together and maybe online together. But the real purpose of each offering, each item in your menu has to attract the appetite of your tribe. That's super, super important. We're going to talk about brand in a sec, but before we do you have the right product? Does it match your vibe? Every business needs a vibe, a look, a language. This is really, really important. So let's quickly explore this together. Successful businesses are not built by chance of luck. They're refined by planning. I'm a great believer in you create your own look. I'm also a great believer in, and it's my northern ways, I hope you don't mind, but the harder you work, the luckier you become. No successful businesses were built with a passive attitude. You've really got to throw everything you can at this business. Why? You want this tribe. You want to attract the right people into your business. We talk a lot on seminars about look and language, mastering the art of the voice in the business. This is something that Ailish is so alert to. I'm talking about it all the time in seminars, in lectures, in blog posts. Our tribe now like to be spoken to in a very specific way. And your voice, certainly for those guys who've been in business for many, many years now, have to really ensure that they've mastered the right voice that dovetails with their product, dovetails with what you want to achieve. This is so, so super important. Let us talk about this too later. Let's chat about this later. I've allocated a lot of time to chat to you tonight about your businesses. I did want a good old natter about your businesses, what you want to achieve, where you're at. There's one thing for sure we all love doing as photographers, and that's sharing. That's why we're probably so avid and so visual on social media. We simply love a share. But let's dive into my number 4. So my tip number 4, I hinted at this just a second ago, is brand and vibe. Many photographers online this evening know me so very well, and they know I love talking about brand. Holy smoke, I could talk about this all day. The importance of brand attraction. For me, I will share this with each and every one of you. A brand is far from pretty colours, a delicious look. It's much more than that. It's about a culture. Give time this spring to thinking about the vibe in your brand. Give time this spring to thinking about, is your brand actually working hard enough? This is something I consider all of the time when I think of Aspire, and certainly now when I think of White Feather & Co., our new sister company. I'm always thinking about, is this brand working hard enough? Could I work it more? I will share this with you. The answer is always the same. Yes, I could work it more. Yes, it needs to work harder. It's so important to keep reinforcing the brand. We've got some amazing photographers online this evening. I've spotted a few of you. Jerry Campbell, a photographer and a woman of which I admire greatly, has a great brand. So for you, Jerry, you've got a great brand, brilliant look, such an epic toolkit within your brand. But I'd ask you the question too, is that brand, that gorgeous brand of yours, working hard enough for you? And certainly for you this spring. There's so many photographers of which I witnessed earlier online, which have cool brands, delicious brands. And you all have to answer the same question, just as Jerry and I have to do. Is our brands working hard enough? Are they too passive? Because we've all invested a great deal in our brands. My final tip on number 4 is don't be too passive. Make sure you create a culture within your brand. A beautiful brand needs to be utilised every day. And I might indeed write that down for myself later on a post-it on my terminal too. A beautiful brand needs to be utilised every day. I'm going to take my own advice from this later, guys, and I'm going to jot it down, have it on my terminal, and make sure the Aspire brand works harder than it's working today. I'm taking my own advice here, guys, because I'm really alert to the impact it could make on the performance and the reach that we received. Oh, you're welcome, Jerry. I'm receiving a little bit of thanks there from you. Trust me, Jerry. You've had and you have and you've created probably one of the nicest brands. You know, it always leaps into my mindset when I think about brands. I think about that toolkit frequently. You've got a great brand, Jerry. You've got a really nice style as a photographer. So you've got to make sure that that brand allows you to be the photographer of your dreams. You really do. You really, really do. So let's get into number 5. Wow, if you know me, you will know that this is my favourite. I should have had it as my number 1 maybe, but I put it all in the right order of consideration. Number 5, make marketing your friend. Promise me this, guys. Write this down. Make marketing your friend and underline the word friend. I really want to help all of you, not just develop a passion for marketing, an absolute hunger and appetite for it. I really want you to make it a friend and become a real friend to you. My tip number 5 is this. One of the elements we talk about now in training and on our courses, gosh, when I think about how we teach marketing now, it changes so quickly and it changes so frequently. I have many messages of which I've been nurturing and refining for photographers over the last 6 months, and this is one of them. One of the most important elements that I teach, and I'm teaching you now, is this. Make marketing become part of your lifestyle. Make marketing become part of your lifestyle. This is so, so important. Not only do I want it to become how you behave and how you be and how you perform, I want it to be a friend. I want it to be something that you do so intuitively. You know, the first thing I do when I get up in the morning is firstly, walk the dog. Secondly, when I'm back home, is I crave that first cup of coffee. I crave that first hot drink after I've walked the dog. And then what do? I start my social marketing. So for those of you that follow my Insta daily, I will share this with you now. So visualize this tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I'll have walked the dog in the glorious Lake District. I'll have popped on the kettle as soon as I come into the kitchen. And I'll have started to prepare my coffee. And then I get my phone. And then I get my iPad. I switch it all on. Why am I doing that? I'm making marketing become my friend, a part of my lifestyle, and how I function. And one of the first things I like to do, and many of you know this, is I do my Insta daily. My Insta marketing tip, my Insta thought of the day. I start marketing. Does it feel like a job? No. Does it feel like a chore? No. It just feels like what I do, like just having the coffee, walking the dog, having the shower. It's how I run my life. And I want to help you guys run these businesses well. Later, we're going to talk to you about ideas and suggestions I have that are designed for photographers and bloggers, and how you all can market your businesses daily. Some of the things I'll share are more detailed tasks. I hate to say it, but a bit meatier, harder to do, but the results are greater. And some of the things I give you are simple, quick techniques, a do of the day. Many of you will be excited to know, certainly those of you that are online with us at the moment in our 12-month program, that this is something that we're going to be gifting you guys every day. I say gifting because I think it's a real gift. I'm going to be gifting you a task and a job every day. Quick job, big jobs, lots of jobs, all the jobs of which you need to build your business. Why am I doing that? My motive is to really, really help all of you refine the performance in your business. Support the purpose. Support the what you needed to change. Support your tribe even. Support the brand. Number 5 is about supporting your 4, 3, 2, 1 and the visions you have for that business too. So super important. My role in the industry over many, many years has been to support the momentum of the business, and I hope this evening is helping all of you. My goal really is to help each and every one of you all of the time. Karen Ross is just asking a quick question, Karen, and it's the perfect time to ask this question, so I'm going to answer it, Karen, immediately. How many times, the question Karen's asking, guys, and all of you will benefit, how many times a day should you put things on social media? One of the things we teach, Karen, is often your approach to change. So I would say my first tip is treat all social platforms differently. So give them all a role. We talk about this a lot in our training. So give your Instagram a role, Twitter a role, Facebook a role, LinkedIn a role, whatever your go-tos are, Google Plus a role. Give them all a role and a job. The moment you've given them a job, now that firstly, Karen, is very liberating. The moment you've given them the job is the moment you'll then start to understand how many times you need to post a day. So we talk a lot about this in the seminars, Karen. What is the job? And then how relevant is it to post frequently? I dive into Twitter, many of you know. I dive into Twitter a lot throughout the day. It's my notice board. I put a tweet on in the morning. I might reach in there in the afternoon. I'm watching Twitter. I've had a lot of information, Karen, from Twitter. I would really highly recommend, if you're not on Twitter, get on Twitter. Make Twitter your friend too. And then I've made our Facebook page be our notice board, a place for ideas, knowledge. You'll notice there's a blog post on there at the moment. You'll notice there's articles on there, things to do, things to read. And I might only post there, Karen, once a day because its purpose is that. So one of the things Karen will talk to you a lot about on the programs of which I know you're already interested in is, firstly, let's give it a job. And secondly, let's look at the momentum of which it needs. And Karen, I really do hope that helps you. It's really important to run the business your way, and Karen, in a way that matches your lifestyle. I know we're getting to know each other at the moment, Karen, so I'm not alert to whether you have children or whether you're juggling other elements of your life. And I would say also for social media, let's make sure it doesn't take over. It's a product that has a job to do, and it's simply that. Let's dive into our number 6. Gosh, I love our number 6. I love our number 6, guys, because it's where the cash lies. Create and open an inspirational retail department. I'll say that again. Create and open an inspirational retail department. This is the biggest thing that most photographers neglect. So guys, for those of you that were coming into the industry, that were new to our industry, remember your number 6. Those that you are competing with, neglect number 6 and maybe number 5 over all of the others. I'm lucky enough to be traveling in May with a group of photographers heading towards Italy, the Graphic Studio factory. I'm lucky enough to be heading to that factory because it's always where I go for my inspiration. And I'm lucky enough to go and be traveling with a lot I know already of like-minded friends. This is really weird to be talking about this, by the way, guys, because the picture we're all looking at is actually shot at the Graphic Studio Castle. How weird is that? However, I'll move on. I'm lucky enough to be going to Italy with lots of like-minded photographers on our photographic and business retreat. And one of the reasons we do this is this, number 6. My main objective for day 1 is this. On the top of my agenda is this. When we'll go to the factory, one of the first presentations I do is on this subject. It's on the top of my agenda. Why? For all those we're mentoring, for them, it will help them earn more money. It will help them nurture and create a better lifestyle. So visiting the Graphic Studio factory is not just about inspiration. It's not just about finding answers. It's about making sure that you have the businesses you deserve. I ask you to create an inspirational retail department. I would say this to all of you. How many of you are inspired by your albums, by your frames? How many of you are inspired when you visit your online galleries and you look at your retail departments within your websites? How many of you can't wait to walk in your own sales room because it fills you with joy and glee? When I walk into John Lewis, I feel super excited. From whether I'm drooling over the pots and pans, the pieces of linen, their elements of interior design, I feel really excited. My heart races. I have to confess, I feel the same when I walk in Paper Chase. My heart races. I feel excited. And I feel excited because it's inspirational. We all have to feel that same excitement when we visit our own retail departments. Whether it's a small room you've allocated in your home, whether it's a studio, or even whether it's online, it's a shop, it's a store, it's got a job to do. One of the biggest things I'm passionate about at the moment, I'm teaching this a lot, is really helping photographers understand the importance of how to retail. When I leave John Lewis with my arms full, bags stuffed, I never feel remorse. That's the bad news to my husband. I never feel remorse. I feel giddy with excitement. I cannot wait to get the bags home, to place the items within my home space. How many of you can relate to this? I feel so giddy and excited on the way home in the car, thinking about all of the things I bought and where they will go and how they will look and what I will do with them. It's a real he moment for me. And here's the thing. I'm just like your consumer. We're the same. So I want you to think about how you are currently witnessing your own retail department, because you really do need to witness it. It's so important now, guys. Even write down the word, I am a retailer. I own a shop. I have a store. You are a retailer. Gone are the days when your consumer wants things on a disc, a stick. Those days are over, guys. Pay attention. Your consumer is absolutely passionate about getting involved with their home and their lifestyle. They're flicking through interior magazines all of the time. They are so involved with their home. You only need to be an Instagram reader to read and see all of the pictures you see. What will get one of the most engaging likes? A flat lay about the home. Most homes now are styled within an inch of their lives. Retail has become so important to the consumer. We've only seen the absolute increase in the usage of lit candles, fluffy towels, beautiful things bought for the home. The tidal wave not that long ago we saw of pineapples and copper and all of the things gorgeous dripped around people's homes. Hygge Living took the marketplace by storm this winter. And this is you. This is the world of which you are in. One of the things we're training all of the time now is training how to retail for the home. This is not about selling pictures. This is not about selling albums. This is about selling furniture, nice things, pretty things. Put retail right on the top of your agenda. It's on mine for those that are with me in Italy. It's on mine for all those photographers I'm training. I know we've got Gillian online this evening, and Gillian's coming to Italy with us. So here's the thing, Gillian. Last year, you left that retreat and tour the most epic photographer leaping back into London. This year, Gillian, you're going to leap back into Ireland and London of one of the most successful retailers I know. Why do I know that, Gillian? Because I already know that you have an appetite for retail. You're a shopper. You're a consumer. You're a girl that likes nice things. And all we're going to do is just dust all of the knowledge you've got down, create a gorgeous inspirational retail department, and then send you on your merry way at the end of that retreat, back into the marketplace, ready to retail, ready to sell. Brilliant, Gillian. You can't wait. I can't wait for you either, because it's what will fill you with so much joy. I love art. I love interiors. I love our consumer, and I want to do them a service. So let's talk about doing them a real service. And it's this, my number 7. Some of you might say, gosh, it took you a long time to get to photography. Sure it did. I see the number 7 as a really important element. I want so many of you this evening, and maybe forever. So for those newbies, write this down. For those of you that have been in the industry a long time, write this down. Very relevant for you guys who have worked incredibly hard on their businesses, and you're ready for this. See yourself as artists. See yourself as artists. I want all of you to see yourself as artists. I'm a stylist for Jenny Hayworth. We work together in White Feather & Co., our sister company. And Jenny and I are a real team. I see myself as an artist. I see myself as somebody that gets paid, and gets paid for their imagination, gets paid for their ideas. We've been creating concepts today, well I have, for our fine art courses and my London courses unfolding next week in the city. I've been painting backgrounds. I've been preparing myself and making a few items, corsages, just to name a few, because I really see myself as an artist. And this is how I want to be witnessed, through the goggles of my consumer. Art and seeing ourselves as creative artists is so critically important. So I'm sorry I left it to number 7. And I'm sorry I left it to number 7 because of this. We live in busy worlds. We run busy businesses. But in all of that time, we must never neglect this. Why? In the end, it's what will define us. It's what will separate us from the crowd. It's the only thing. Your DNA, your style, what you do and how you do it. It's the only thing. Hand on heart, I'm super excited about those guys coming to us over the next few days. I've been outside this morning very early, painting some backgrounds in beautiful blush colours, and then I've painted something else in a gorgeous soft grey. And I'm not just excited for the photographers, I'm actually also excited for the models too, because I'm giddy about the experience they will have and how they will feel within those scenes. I want the little children to feel like fairies, to feel like they're in a fairy tale. I want them to have childhood memories, childhood moments. I want the mum to be blushing inside with excitement about what she's seeing. I want them to see a scene. I want them to be witnessing a professional photographic shoot. I want them to be feeling like a cloak of creativity has just wrapped around them. I want them to feel the sparkle of every image we create for them as our consumer. I want them in the end to really want those pictures upon their walls within their lifestyles. And why do I want that? Because I'm an artist. Because I feel like an artist and I want to behave like an artist. If you could have seen me today, I had more paint on my jeans than I actually had on the boards. I'm a messy painter, but I felt like an artist. It's important for all of us to see ourselves as having a craft. I really see myself as having a craft. Those that have come to many of our presentations will have witnessed me use that word a lot. I like the word craft. We craft things, we mould things, we create things. So, are you giving enough time to your creativity? Do you think you're standing still a little bit? About a year ago, I totally changed how we trained, what we do, how we do it. I'm still changing things all the time. I'm in the change zone and I'm enjoying myself. The clients are enjoying themselves. The team's enjoying themselves. The landscape of life is enjoying themselves. Why am I doing this? Because I want to create art. I want those we train to have a very artful experience. I want us to feel excited about photography. I want it to feel like photography. That's why I love the pop-up studio that we've created. We're going to create a pop-up studio in Italy too. God help Graphic, they have no idea what's coming their way. But it's fun, it's exciting. If I could pack my paintbrushes and backgrounds, well actually I'm tempted to pack a background, but if I could pack all of my paintbrushes and paints and colour palettes, for sure I would. I've even asked Jen, does Amazon deliver to the mountains? Could we get stuff up there? Why? Number 7, think, feel, and behave like an artist. Write that down. Think and feel and behave like an artist. So, so important. I want you to think and feel like an artist. It's really, really important. Think and feel like it every single day. My partner's taught me this. He thinks and feels like an artisan baker all of the time. And I watch how he functions, and I watch how he is, and I watch how he bees. And it's inspiring. And over the years, he's taught me a great deal about my number 7. I make no apologies for spending on magazines. None. I make no apologies for buying fashion magazines, Elle Decor. None. I make no apologies for wanting to watch. At the moment, I'm liking and enjoying Abstract on Netflix. I'm recommending that. Write that down. Make no apologies to anybody for wanting to watch Abstract, The Chef's Table, inspirational fashion videos, flicking through magazines, flicking through them, tearing them up, buying books. Make no apologies for it, guys. It's all about fueling your craft. How does number 7 affect number 8? It sure does. Number 8. The one for me I treasure the most for you. Surround you, your head, heart, and space by the right things. This is not just for creatives, artisans, bloggers. I do believe this is for all grown-ups and for everybody in business. Surround you, your head, heart, and space, the space of which you perform within. Make sure you surround you, your head and your heart with the right things. How many of you this evening are parents? I've just noticed Gareth made a comment there. Gareth, I too watched Taboo on Netflix. I loved Taboo. It became my new Peaky Blinders. So let's digress a little bit and talk about TV and telly. So Gareth, I did watch Taboo. It's a bit scary, a bit frightening for a girly girl like me, but I loved the style. I loved the filming. It became my new Peaky Blinders. I loved it. I loved it very much. I really enjoyed it. I think it's for all of us about finding the things that really fill our soul. So, talking of filling the soul, how many of you are parents online this evening? I know a few of you are. Gareth is, Jerry is. We've got a few out there online that I know are parents. But how many of you are parents? Because I want to share this with you. One thing I'm sure we'll all agree with as parents, I'm a stepmummy to beautiful Ailish that's looking after you this evening, and I'm stepmummy also to beautiful Niall too. And what I've always been alert to and watched out for on their behalf is who they hang out with. And I'm sure you'll agree. We're always concerned about who our children are hanging out with. How is it affecting them? How is it affecting themselves, their well-being, their happiness? How is it affecting their head? How's it affecting their performance, their thoughts? It's really important. How's it affecting their heart? So many of you as parents, I'm sure, Heather's mentioning that she's got boys of 6 and 3, and I'm so sure, Heather, you, like me, I'm sure we have lots and lots in common, Heather, and I'm sure you too would have thought about and thinking about even the 3-year-old at nursery, I'm guessing now, who they hang out with and the influence it has on them. We've got Natasha also online, and you know, she's also somebody that's getting a lot now from number 7 and number 8. That's brilliant. I'm really glad about that, Natasha. Sylvia has boys 6 and 4. So many of you are getting a lot from the session, and many of you have young children. Ruth's just mentioned she's got, she's a parent, so she's got boys of 9 and 5. Really important years. Whether like Lisa, the 3 years old, really, really important years. Christine, children of 20, 19, 16, really, really important years. And what we worry about all the time is how are they? How are they functioning? Are they in the right space? You know what I also worry about? You all online with me this evening. Somebody, a really significant photographer, sadly, he's emigrated now to Canada. And he was one of the best Scottish photographers of our time. And about 8 years ago, he emigrated to Canada. He's retired now. He drives bikes, by the way. However, he once said this to me. I'd finished a seminar and I was lecturing at the time for the SWPP. I don't think it was the convention. I can visualise myself in Scotland. And I just stepped off the stage and he was shaking my hand and he said, there's one thing I'm aware of. I'm one of your children. You look out for me like my mum and dad look out for me. You can look out for my head, you look out for my heart, and you look out for how I be. And I'll never forget that moment of which we shared. And I gave him a hug and I said, sure I do. And I'm making sure you surround yourself with the right things. So guys, for all of us who are doing a great job on parenting our little ones and our treasured ones, and like Christine and I, ours are grown up, but I still treasure them, I still nurture them, I'd still put the lights out of somebody that upset Ailish and Niall. Ailish knows that as well, guys, so be careful. Don't ever upset my baby girl, as I would always say. You know, you really look out for your kids, and I want to really look out for you. It's so important that we too think about who we surround ourselves with, how it's impacting our positivity, how it's impacting how we operate in space. Because for sure, what we surround ourselves with has a huge impact on our productivity, mindset, and what we achieve. You get in the wrong gang with the wrong people, and gosh, will that have an impact on your day, let alone your lifetime, and let alone a year, because a year waits for no one. This is something, my number 8, that I have always been alert to. I didn't particularly have an enjoyable time at school. I was a dyslexic. Well, I still am, so I didn't fit in. So who I surrounded myself with, even at tender age, I was really alert to the impact it had on all of this. And it's been one of my mantras since, folks. I feel really blessed with having all of you online this evening because I know you're my type of people. I know you're my type of people because I can just sense by the way you speak. You use words like Natasha's using. She used words like motivational, inspired. She's engaged. She's a woman that cares. I'm loving the parenting thread that's unfolding. All of that is really inspiring me. So we're already in the right gang. That's reassuring. But always remember my number 8. If you're ever in a space that's not contributing to your growth, your wisdom, your motivation, your heart, move on and get out of there at speed. Somebody once asked me, would I create a forum for Aspire? I said, no chance. Don't like them. I'm not a lover of forums because I'm not a lover of where negativity can grow. I like the Aspire Knowledge Gallery. I like the vibe in there. Thank you guys for being so beautiful in that Knowledge Gallery. I like the vibe in the Knowledge Gallery. I like the vibe in our private online community. It's productive. It's effective. It's nurturing. It's supportive. That's the vibe I like. Why? Because of my number 9. So my number 9, be the entrepreneur. Be the entrepreneur. I quest you all this, my friends online. Be bold. Be ambitious. But don't let it get ugly. There's nothing more unattractive than crude ambition. There's nothing more attractive than being ambitious. So be ambitious. Be focused. Be proactive. Never sleepy. There's too much at stake. It's really important that you start to nurture the viewpoint you have of yourself as an entrepreneur. You might think there's only me in my business. I'm only a photographer. I'm not running John Lewis. Well, here's the thing. Marks & Spencer started somewhere. It started from a stall in a market. Jo Malone started from her back bedroom, creating and making ointments to become now one of the most successful brands we know. Entrepreneurs are created from kitchen tables, spare bedrooms, notepads, and imagination. Your business needs your imagination, your notepad, and make no apologies from building your business from your kitchen table and your spare room. Where you are now isn't where you have to remain. Where you are now is only at the beginning of the chapter, not at the end of the chapter. For me, and I really don't mind sharing this with you, for me, I feel I'm really at the beginning of my career. I was talking about this to Ailish earlier. I feel like I'm at the start. I want to share this with you. I created our training company on the 28th of March, 2008. No, not 2098. My goodness me, got my maths wrong there. But the significance of that memory was the 28th of March. Even as I shared that with you just a second ago, I stumbled over the year because I actually felt quite emotional. You nearly had tears off me. And you nearly had tears off me because we care about our businesses. There is a lot at stake. So this is really weird for me. I'm with you guys. I still feel I'm at the beginning. It's the 28th of March, and we're in a real wave of change at Aspire, which excites me, thrills me. I'm playing the game my way. And why am I doing that? I'm quite happy to say I feel like an entrepreneur who's artistic and in business and has a shop and a store and is really proud of that. Really proud of that. I might not be John Lewis. I'm certainly not earning what Mr. Martson's and Mr. Spencer's boardrooms are, but I'm really proud of my ship and my show. And I really want you guys to be too. So be the entrepreneur. Don't worry about where you are now. Think about where you're heading. Is the best tip I can give you. Is absolutely the best tip I can give you. Gareth's sharing with us all that Henry Ford started making cars at 40, and look where that brand is today. Now, Gareth, that really, really inspires me. Really inspires me. I think about where I'm at right now. I never think about retiring. I mean, goodness me, can you imagine what I would do with all that time on my hands? I'd probably have to knock down my house and build it again by hand because I'd be so bored. This is my place with you. This is my position with you, alongside you, nurturing you and nurturing your business. I am an entrepreneur. I come from a background of entrepreneurs. I've got farming in my blood. I come from a family that actually work to the drop. And I don't mind that. I really don't mind that. Because why? Number 10, happy in business. This is my number 10, guys. And this is an important one. Being happy is a really, really important one. That's why I got more emotional when I mentioned the 28th of March. Because, you know, it's been a real journey for me being in business. My goodness, could I write a book? I really could. Number 10, happy in business. Make sure, whether you've been in business 5 years, and there was 40% of you online that were, whether you were in that early percentage, trying to remember, memory failing me now, but you know who you are. Whatever level you're at, make sure you're happy in business. Make sure you're happy in your business. I feel excitement each day when I enter the courtyard of Aspire. I feel excitement each day when I reach into your world through our Instagram daily. I'm happy with my lot. We can work really hard and some crazy hours and do some really ridiculous traveling, but we can be happy with our lot. I recently went to New York on a reconnaissance trip with my partner for Aspire and for his business too. And we worked our little socks off. Goodness, if I'd had my Fitbit with us, we would have walked some miles. I don't think in those 3 days I've ever crammed in so many meetings. I think we had on an average 3 to 4 hours sleep a day. Was I happy? I was living the dream. So make sure whatever you do in your business, it's a happy ship. You create it. Don't wait for it. Say that to yourself every day. I'm creating it. I'm not waiting for it. So Ailish and I have got lots of things we want to do with you online this evening. And we're going to open up our question panel in a moment. Ailish is just joining me. But before Ailish joins me, I want to share this with you. Number 1, as Ailish settles in to help me answer your questions and solve your situations, let's think about this together. One of the things we do at Aspire is help everybody create dream businesses. And I'm known for saying, this is a quote I use a lot, daydreams become dream businesses. A tradition that we have at Aspire is always launching a nice campaign in a second or two. And this perhaps is the biggest and boldest campaign Ailish has ever talked me into. But that's because I'm a softie and I've got a really big heart. So it's always our tradition at the end of every webinar to give you a gift. And we're about to, because all daydreams need dream businesses. So Ailish is about to open up an offer for each and every one of you. As Ailish does that, I'm really looking forward to chatting to you, to nattering with you, answering your questions, and perhaps having a moment or two alongside you and in your businesses. But as you all get prepared for your questions, think about what you want to ask, I'm going to hand over to Ailish. And I'm going to hand over to Ailish, who's been managing your experience for a second or two, while she tells you about all the mischief making she's been making today on your behalf. Ailish, I know, has such a good relationship with so many of you. Many of you, like Gareth, have become great friends to Ailish, and Gillian's online. So many of you have become somebody that Ailish is enjoying nurturing. So because of you and how you are with Ailish, she has a juicy little surprise. Call it an early Easter egg.
Okay, so yes, I did a bit of negotiating with Catherine, and we're thrilled to be able to offer you 40% discount off the course of your choice. So, you know, it's a really, really generous offer, but we just wanted to do something really special at the end of this particular webinar. We know we've given you a lot to think about, and it might be that it's just triggered a thought, you know, I need to just do that portfolio builder I've been meaning to do. I need to conquer that social media and marketing through webinars, and this is just a little extra, you know, gesture just to help you really along the way, and make your year a better one. So you will see that we have a lovely discount code on the screen now, and you have 20 minutes, just under 20 minutes now, to make use of that. So if you pop along to the Aspire website, find that course that you have been pondering over, and simply enter Talk40 at the checkout, and that will apply, you know, a fantastic 40% discount onto your booking. Now, we've limited this to 20 minutes. We're going to have a nice Q&A, but for those of you that perhaps need a bit more of a conversation about what course is the best for you, we have extended, you know, a discount treat to you for the next 24 hours, and it'll just reduce to 30%. So you've got just under 20 minutes to do your 40% discount, but we will be offering a 30% discount on any bookings for the next 24 hours, because we know it's important to make these decisions really thoroughly. So if Catherine's happy to...
Yeah, I'll take over the question panel. I'll just sort of echo Ailish's thoughts there. Ailish just mentioned it's open to all of the seminars that we offer, and it really is. It really, really is. So good luck on the website, because we have quite a broad offering. But as we've been traveling through the session, many of you might have thought, gosh, I really want to conquer my marketing, but I've got to really think about childcare. I've got to think about how I want to learn. You know, do look at our online programs. They are incredible. We've got spring webinars that will kick and go live in May. And we've also got our incredible 12-month online program that also goes live in May too. And they are certainly two courses that would grab hold of your marketing. If you know it's photography, you want to develop that artist, look at all of the programs from Styled Shoots, our editorial workshop in London and in Cumbria, because they are incredible programs that really do reach into the heart of your portfolios. There is a lot there to offer. Ailish is a diamond, as many of you know already. She's offering you 40% for 20 minutes, but she didn't want to just do that. She's naturally opening that to 30% for much longer than that. She's broadening her window because, yes, it's early Easter egg time for me to you, and Ailish wants to make sure you don't just do anything with us, you find the right answer. And you must make sure that we can help you. So our final thread together, let's open up the question and answer panel. I know Ailish has saved some questions for me, and many of you might want to spontaneously ask questions too. Andy asked, how do you access which platforms are used for your tribe? A really good question, Andy. One of the things that you can always do is a little bit of Google research, but if this helps you, Andy, we've done all of this for you. So Google research is something that we utilise. However, Andy, I'm going to cut to the chase and help you. A platform, if you want to specialise in weddings and you want to specialise in portraiture, and you also have a appetite for food and commercial, a platform that's really essential to you is Instagram. Your tribe for weddings, portraits and food, Andy, is sat on Instagram, and that will become a very significant platform for you with the now. Another platform, Andy, that's very engaged, it's a steady Eddie, as I call it, but really proactive with the foodie world, because it's very proactive with chefs, it's very proactive with hotels, is Twitter. And people are often a bit stuffy about Twitter, but don't be. As I said to Karen, we've got Karen online with us this evening, Twitter is my source of answers and research. I get a lot of information from Twitter. It's probably my daily go-to. As many of you know, I love Instagram. And then, Andy, if you have a desire to attract our consumer, I would say Facebook still has relevance. You know, we're all a bit over it, am I allowed to say? It's still got a massive audience and it still has a role to play, so we can't be over it, but I think we're over how it performs. It's a bit naughty in how it polices what our consumer sees and how they see it, but gosh, does it have relevance to play. And then finally, Andy, if it's B2B, it's business to business, you can't not be on LinkedIn. It's having a reinvention. It's reinventing itself. You have to be on LinkedIn. If, for you, Andy, you do all of that, you can't neglect now. This is the one that we're talking about a lot on our workshops, is Pinterest. Pinterest is certainly coming into its own and making a big headway. So, oh, you've just asked, what about Pinterest? My goodness, Andy, you must be psychic. As you're writing it, I'm saying it. How weird is that? But wonderful. So Pinterest is a biggie, Andy. It's a volumes game with Pinterest. It's all about number of pictures, number of boards, board titles, rich pins, utilising text. And that's a very, 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 very brief overview of social media. This is perhaps something that we could spend, and we do spend, you know, a good hour, hour and a half, if not sometimes more, on our marketing workshops. Andy, I do hope that's helped, because that was such a groovy question. Any more coming through there, Ailish?
Not yet, not as of yet. Maybe people are just gathering their thoughts after.
I don't mind if you're gathering your thoughts. Christine's just mentioned, I think you should write a book. Ailish was probably thinking Catherine was being a bit quiet about that. Christine, the gossip on the headlines here from Aspire is I actually have just been commissioned to write a book for photographers and creatives. All of that happened only a few days ago. It's been in discussion for about 12 months, and then we came to our final arrangement over the next few days. So Ailish knows that I'm going to be spending a lot of time at my kitchen table. It's a book about business for photographers. It's a New York publication. The publishing house is based out there, but it is a book that's going to be open and in different languages, so that's going to be quite fun. And it's also going to be a book where all of the material is engaging and live and interactive and online. It's something that they've never done before. They normally work in the academic sectors. So Christine, God help you all. The book is about to be launched, and I'm really looking forward this Easter to getting started.
So we have a question from Zoe.
Oh, welcome, Zoe.
She builds her photography business on the side of a full-time job and doesn't have the confidence yet to make the jump. What advice would you give?
Zoe, I'm a great believer in pace, and it's about not rocking the boat. So at the moment, Zoe, I know that you currently work full-time. I hope you don't mind, and it's not too intruding for me to ask. But Zoe, do you have children? Tell me a little bit more about Zoe. I want to know if you have children, and I want to know, are you married? I want to know, do you have your own home? Do you live with your parents?
Just scrolling back through the messages, and Zoe said that she has a fiance at the moment.
So you have a fiance. The reason why, Zoe, all of that is really relevant to the advice I'm giving you is I want to know what you have on your plate, responsibilities, etc., etc. So with everything in mind, you have a fiance, so let's guess for sure that marriage and a wonderful wedding is on the horizon too. So you want to make sure that this business works around your life and your lifestyle. My first tip would be, even if it's not in the current sector that you work in, many photographers, as they're going through their transition into becoming full-time, often go for a window of time where they become part-time. If part-time at their current job and in their current position is impossible, they find a part-time job that doesn't raid their emotions, that doesn't steal too much of their time, but it pays the bills, it keeps a roof over your head, and in your case, it keeps a fiance very happy. I'd always start to contemplate and think about that factor. The other thing that I'd want to ask you, Zoe, and I hope you don't mind, but do you do weddings? Because weddings is a great service to offer if you want to go through transition, and I'll explain why. If you do weddings, we often help photographers, and we would help you get to a position where you've got a series of bookings on the horizon, ahead of the horizon. And all of those bookings will have paid you a deposit, maybe £300 is the national average. And if you have a series of wedding bookings in, £300 deposits in the bank, don't touch it, don't spend it, you mustn't need it because you've already got a salary. And then you can start to prepare yourself for a little bit of cash flow as you're entering a new business. So it's really important, Zoe, that you pace it really well. What I also would recommend you do, Zoe, is give me a call. Talk to me. Let's arrange a bit of call time. Ailish is wonderful at that. Even if we just have 10 minutes together talking about the plan. Because there's so much I would share with you. And you're probably guessing already, I'm asking you the right questions. Tell me about your outgoings and let's talk about what we need to be coming incoming. Let's talk about cash flow. Let's talk about what you're going to be as a photographer. There are so many photographers I mentor, so many photographers we support through our training. And what is important, so is when this business is launched, and let's believe it's going to be launched, it's launched without the strain on your fiance. And trust me, he will give you a lot of support. He will really handhold you through the process. But what we want to make sure is everything goes to plan, and it takes time.
Okay, we've got some lovely questions coming through now. Just quick update on the offer. So the 40%, you've got just over 7 minutes left, but we will continue with the question and the answers. Claire has sent in a lovely question. She can be very indecisive, possibly due to a lack of confidence. Do you have any tips on homing in on clarity and purpose for one's business?
I will, Claire, give you lots of tips. The first thing I would do, Claire, is if we were having a session together, we would look at that word confidence. So something I want you to do for me, and please feel free that you can share it privately with Ailish and I, is let's look at what makes you unconfident. What erases or diminishes in some way or other your confidence? What's diluting it? Because if we can start to look at that and either train it or support it, we're going to start to head towards that clarity and being very decisive. Clarity of mind is a good one. So I'm going to give you some homework, Claire. Going back to what I said earlier, go to the magazine store this weekend and I want you, and please let me know what you've done, I want you to go and buy a magazine. And if you were a business and your business was that magazine, what would it be? I personally and passionately would love to be Elle Decor. I would love to be a little sprinkling of country living. And gosh, wouldn't we all want to be Harper's Bazaar? But there would be my three. And if I could run a business that felt like all of those three magazines, this girl would be smiling at number 10. So Claire, I want you to do a bit of homework for me, and then we're going to have a talk. We're going to have a chat. If you were a magazine, who would you be? Because if we can start to work out what the clarity is and what we're aiming for, we can start to make sure that we make some good choices for the business. We start to plan and make some good decisions for the business. and we end up being more decisive. One of the biggest decisive decisions everybody makes in business is about the tribe. And that's why I need you to buy that magazine. Even if, Claire, you go to your store and you look at all of the arrangement of magazines and you buy a magazine you've never bought before, it doesn't matter if it hasn't been a regular read for you. It's about buying the magazine. If you were that magazine, who would you be? Do that for me, and that's you and I talk about the clarity, being decisive, and making sure that actually we're steering you in the right direction. And gosh, Claire, I hope that's helped.
Okay, we've got a fab question here from Karen. She has 2 businesses in photography, which is run by her, and she has staff as well. She's keen to grow the school business, but is just wondering if our online marketing course can help with the marketing of school photography.
I think school photography and being in a school photographic business, Karen, and I would say this to everybody online, such a good choice, such a good choice. Great steady eddy for cash flow, great business to be in. Yes, Karen, the big answer is yes, because your tribe is only a throwaway from social media. That tribe's parents are all on social media. They're really interested in education. They're really interested in their children and childhood. They're very interested in lifestyle. So it's really important. And all of our marketing courses, whether you do schools photography, which I passionately believe in, whether you do commercial, equine, dogs, regardless of your genre, all of the courses are written in a way and written in a manner that, even if you were a florist or hotelier, you could sit through that program, reap absolute rewards from the content, and it would make a big, big difference. What I would ask you to do is bring all of your businesses to the agenda. Bring the schools business, bring your portraiture business. I would also ask you, Karen, if you can, if you have a loving and loyal team, make them sit on the sessions, make them buy into the knowledge, the information, the story, the agenda, the changes that you'll want to make. Ailish and I do a lot of training together, and when I'm taking the business through change, I'll always say to Ailish, sit beside me, let's go through this process together, because you need them on the message, you need them on the program. So yes, you might have bought the place and you might be sitting down there with one type of notepad, but make the key core members of your team join you. It might inspire them. You might end up with a better workforce. You might end up with better productivity. And gosh, Karen, they might even do a lot of the work for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. So make them do it with you, Karen. That could have a huge impact on all of the resources of which you have, because you've only got one Karen.
Okay, so I've got a lovely question here from Donna, and it might be that, it's opened up to people maybe in the chat bar as well, but I'd love to get Catherine's thoughts. So she loves her photography as a hobby and interested in how people have found the transition from, having photography as a hobby to a business, and how, if at all, it impacted how people feel about their photography.
That's a really good question, Donna, so thank you very much for that. And I'm sure, everybody online is going to have some food and some thoughts for this one. The first thing for me is, I would say to you, Karen, when we look at businesses that are going from hobby to, it's not Karen, it's Donna, sorry, are going from hobby to business, is we look at what type of hobbyist you have been. Many of the photographers we work with sometimes say to me, I have a real hobby for shooting seascapes. I love shooting seascapes, I love shooting the sea, and I love shooting the landscape. Now, wrongly or rightly, in our country, there isn't a great deal, or it's not easy to earn an income from seascapes. Wrongly or rightly, take that product to other nations, boom. So what I say to those photographers, Donna, is keep your seascapes and keep your landscapes as your hobby. Do that on your treasured days. Share it in your business. Blog about it. It shows you're an artist. It shares and shows your passion as a photographer. However, if your hobby has been portraiture, has been capturing the essence of children and people, I would say to you, always make sure as you travel through a year that you have allocated creative time, playtime, time to enjoy your camera, time to enjoy collaborating and creating really nice shoots for you that push your boundaries. Many photographers sometimes just say, gosh, I haven't even got the time for that anymore, so I'm just going to come on one of your style shoots and let you do all the work, and I'm just going to play with my camera for a day. And that's not about copying out. It's about doing what's best and the right thing for your business. But remember number 10. Remember number 10, Donna. You've got to make sure you enjoy the business. I would say, ironically now, Donna, my life has reversed. So I never had a hobby of being in business, but now my hobby is being in business. What do I do in my leisure time, Donna? I read business books. What do I do in my leisure time? I watch business-minded, business-inspired programs. What do I do in my leisure time? I research from magazines. My business has become my hobby. I will teach you, Donna, how to make business become part of your lifestyle, not rob your lifestyle. You know, when I'm working on Aspire, I'm working on a new project. Ailish and I were talking about this earlier. Over Easter, I've allocated 2 days over Easter to work on the business. I've got that book and I've got a product to launch. So I'm devoting Good Friday to the book. I'm devoting the Saturday to the product. And I don't begrudge either one of those my time because I'm living the dream. It's what I want to do. It will have an impact on the industry and I don't mind it. What I don't want to do though on Good Friday or Easter Saturday is come in and clean the studio. I don't want to come in and wipe the windows because that's not going to fill my soul, my heart, my head. But what I do want to do is create, come up with some concepts, write, share, do what I love. So Donna, we've got to make sure that when you take this hobby into a business, you don't lose number 10, your happiness within. You still remain the artist, you're number 7, and we make sure that you get the right tribe. And then what's the not to love? And I think when you lose the love of it, it's because the balance, the mix is all wrong, or you're seeing it. I'd really try and get photographers to see the business has to work around your lifestyle. Don't make the lifestyle trying to work around the business, or else it's the same for, it's the same for many of you. You've just got to get the balance right. And I am sure, I'm so sure for you, Donna, so many of the photographers online will have an opinion. I'm just reading here that, street photography, landscape photography, seascapes, keep all of that as part of something you love and adore. I'm a great iPhone photographer. Many know that. They watch what we get up to online. I love photography. I do it as a hobby now. I don't do it professionally, clearly. I haven't got the skills you guys have. I'm all about the business. I love, unfolding great ideas with Jen without me holding the camera. Thank you very much, because I just love the business side.
Okay, let's have a look. Tessa wonders if you've got any tips on getting published. She's been working on high fashion photography portfolio. Can you recommend routes to get into high fashion clients and getting an editorial published?
My first tip would be, Tessa, and I guess you're doing this already, is make sure you're Insta ready. Make sure you're absolutely Insta ready, because your tribe is actually on there already. I will share this with you, Tessa. We were approached also for White Feather & Co., our sister company, by a publisher recently. And the reason the publisher came to our door or came to meet us is because they've been following our Insta feed. They are watching Instagram. They are big Instagram stalkers. So make sure you're Insta ready, because I often say this in our marketing. Photographers say to me all the time, how do I find the right clients? And I always say, no, you're looking at this the wrong way. What we're going to do is put the strategy in place to make sure the right clients find you. Believe it or not, Tessa, They're already trying to find you, and they might be finding others on their way to finding you. So make sure you're Insta ready. Make sure you're blogging. Make sure you're an avid blogger, weekly blogger, because they're going to find you. Share your images. Tag them. Make sure you become visual. Now, what I will say to all of you, I've written books before, actually. I've written a series of books before, and we always have one word in our ship here. We haven't got time for vanity publishing because there's no money in it, just lots of hours wasted. So what we always do, Tessa, is make sure we're doing it for the right reason. So whether it's writing a cookbook, whether it's writing a business book, we make sure that the right reason in play first, because it can become a time stealer. The rest of the pictures that we've had published in Food and Travel or the Telegraph or the Times, they've primarily been published because they've been published through a PR agency in London that's actually working for a client. And that's a really big ball game to unfold. So it's tough out there, but you've got to make sure you become visual. And gosh, there's so much we could explore, Tessa, on this one. It's a big marketing question, but it's a really good question, a really good one. Keep visual, Tessa.
Okay, and a final one from Karen. She says, when you do a blog, do you just do it on your website or using another platform?
It's important, Karen. Good question. Really good question. This will help Tessa as well. To make sure that your blog and your website have a very binding relationship. So our blog is sat in a relationship with our website. So they have to be. They're either plugged in together because you want to benefit from the SEO and all of that activity you have. I'm really proud to share with all of you that Aspire's blog was in the top 100 global educational blogs. Now, I'll say that again, top 100. There is a lot of blogs out there in our industry, and to be number 98 was incredible. And how did we get there, Karen? Because not only are we avid bloggers, we're avid sharers. So make sure your blog is attached to your website. That's an absolute essential. And then naturally, you've got to make sure you share that blog. I'm a great believer in storytelling and blogging. I'm going to encourage Tess to do that, you to do that, Karen, because for both of you, it'll be the answer to the right questions for sure. And, keep an eye on our blog. We had a blog that went live today. It's about dealing with conflict. So it's not sexy. It's about dealing with conflict. It's about being a business owner. It's about protecting yourself as an entrepreneur. And then we've got a blog post that will go live about 9 o'clock in a few minutes. Okay, we've got a blog post that's going to go live about 9 o'clock this evening. We're big bloggers here. The blog is absolutely designed for you, and it had you in mind. The blog is primarily written by myself. I have guest bloggers, occasionally Jane, one of my team players blogs for me and on our behalf. I ask her to, and then we have guest writers as well. But primarily, I'm the editor of the blog. Love education, love gifting, and love giving. So visit the blog. It should become a really good resource for you. I talked to Karen about sharing, so you'll also find the blog on our Pinterest boards as well. The other thing that, I've mentioned earlier, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning it again, but, we do the Insta Daily, thought of the day, consideration. It's there just to get your mind going first thing in the morning, get you in the zone, get you in the right shape and form. And then naturally, that we're really big sharers on Facebook. For those of you in our 12-month online program, I'm really pleased to say that Jane and I have been working hard in the background at the moment, and we have a new format that's going to be launched this week, and that's where we put an Insta marketing exercise, small tasks, big tasks, all shapes of tasks, just to make sure that you guys are performing at the right speed and pace. Wow! This has been a great evening, guys. a really good evening. You know, we've talked a lot tonight about going from hobbyist to business. What's there not to like to be about being online, talking about business? We've had a great time. So we've had a great time being with all of you. I really want to, on behalf of Ailish and I, thank you both. I really want to do my utmost to make sure I offer you gratitude and thanks for supporting each other online. There's been a nice vibe here. For sure, you're definitely my tribe and my community. We came to the end of our top 10 tips, but naturally, we've always got something to share. We will do a series of other webinars throughout the year. The theme and format is always slightly different. You're probably guessing already, there's always a treat at the end. However, I do like the treat bit. Always coordinated and organised by Ailish. Keep us both close. Keep us both close online. Keep us both close in the relationship. Claire, definitely email those thoughts in. For all of you, keep us close. We're always here to do the utmost for those that want to be in business and build businesses. Aspire's mantra is all about yearning to have powerful, ambitious plans, and we really want that for each and every one of you. It's about us supporting you aspire to be the greatest photographer you can be. So thank you very much, guys. It's been wonderful talking to you. We're getting some really nice thoughts coming through. You're welcome, Jerry. It's always lovely to see you online. You're such an inspiration to us here in Cumbria. So this has been great, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and looking forward to supporting you in business. And Gillian, I'm looking forward to supporting you in Italy, that factory tour, getting you into retail. Gosh, we've got some great plans for you guys on your Italian business retreat. So thank you very much, guys. We'll check out now and keep us close. Have a great evening. Have a really good evening, guys. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.